No, your business is not exactly like Airbnb and Uber. In this video, I'm going to be breaking down one of the biggest frustrations for investors when they get presented an opportunity by a founder. Okay, so I absolutely get it. As a founder, you're trying to look for the most clearest, succinct way to communicate what you're doing with your business and the opportunity that it actually represents. And in that, you try and sometimes, especially with technical businesses, they're trying to distill things down to the simplest way. And often now, more and more, we're seeing, and we used to see this before and then it stopped for a while, but now it's coming back again, where founders are comparing themselves to multi-billion-dollar businesses like decacorns, right? And they've absolutely got no relevance to their industry and no relevance to their model whatsoever. And it's one of the greatest frustrations you hear from investors is when they have companies saying, oh, we're just like the Airbnb of this, or we're just like the Uber of this. It is massively frustrating, and unfortunately for you is when you say that, you think that we feel that it's clever, we feel it's a great way to position ourselves, we feel like, oh, they're going to get our business straight away. What we don't realize is that in the investor's mind, it's like, that's ridiculous, red cross. And you think about it, like effectively, we've got seconds to capture an investor's attention. And when you put, we're just like Airbnb, we're just like Uber, we're just like Facebook, we're just like TikTok, whatever it may be, then you're effectively just highlighting to the investor an inability to clearly articulate, what you're doing without using something which is completely irrelevant. And you lose that investor straight off the bat because they sit there and go, not another one. Right? Because so many companies try and do this where they try and position themselves as businesses that they're actually not. So one of my biggest hits for you is to try and get that. So one of the hardest things for all of us is to come up with our elevator pitch, but spend the time, put in the effort to get that elevator pitch right that doesn't have, we're just like Airbnb and Uber, especially when your business model is irrelevant, your industry is irrelevant, and what you're doing is actually not like Airbnb and Uber at all. I'm sure you may think one component is like that. That's very different to an entire business model that's sort of utilizing that sort of strategy, right? So to really think about it, spend the time on your USP to get it right, because when you go out with, we are just like Uber and Airbnb, it looks lazy. And unfortunately for you, what you don't realize is you're turning off investors, and they're never going to say it to you. They're just not going to speak to you.